Are we are we in a war with radical Islam?
You know, I think that the way to understand this is there is an element growing out of Muslim communities in certain parts of the world that have perverted the religion, and they're doing damage in a lot of countries around the world. But it is absolutely true that I reject a notion that somehow that creates a religious war, because the overwhelming majority of Muslims reject that interpretation of Islam. They don't even recognize it.
Yeah, well, then he went on to say 99.999%. Joining us now is the one and only Michael Savage, host of course, The Savage Nation, and author of Stop the Coming Civil War, The Savage Truth. Of course, that's his latest. He's got many, many more wonderful bestsellers. Hello, Michael.
Hey, Steve, good to be with you. So what's the topic today?
Well, you just heard it. Of course, we have, just breaking a little while ago, earlier today, the pardon the expression, the savage, really savage burning of the Jordanian pilot at the hands of ISIS. They released pictures, they released a video, put him in a cage, doused him, paraded him around, and burned him alive.
Oh, my God. I didn't see that, Steve. Look, these are Nazis on steroids. And for Obama to say they're not Islamic is ludicrous because, excuse me, the acronym of their invented nation is ISIS. The first letter standing for Islamic State. Didn't say Buddhist state. It didn't say Jewish state. It didn't say Christian state. It's not BISIS. It's not JISIS. It's ISIS for a reason. They are interpreting their religion from the strict teachings of Muhammad. And they're conquering the Middle East the way their ancestors conquered in the 6th century, by burning, killing, raping, murdering, burying alive. In other words, through terror. This is nothing new. This is what's been done from the beginning of this religion. This is how they masterminded the takeover of so much of the world. Not through the love of Christianity, not love thy neighbor as thyself, but kill thy neighbor. What should we say, Steve? Anything else? Now, why is Obama not calling them Muslim?
That was my next question to you.
Well, I understand his liberal fears. This is the university mentality, which is don't call Germans Nazis during the 1930s because you're liable to get Germans mad. See? Of course not all Germans were Nazis, correct? But they took over Germany and it was essentially a Nazi state, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
All right, so these people are more or less taking over the religion. So what should we do? How come the French, which are run by a socialist, dares call it Islamic terrorism? How come the liberal so-called Prime Minister of England calls it Islamic terrorism, but not Mr. Hussein Obama? And the answer is in his name. I'm sorry. His father was Muslim. His adopted father was Muslim, and by patrilineal descent, which is the Muslim belief, he is Muslim by definition. I don't know, did he convert to Christianity? So in other words, he's not a terrorist sympathizer, but he's soft on Islam in general. He's afraid of saying what's obvious to the whole world. And this is the problem. If you can't define your enemy, how can you defeat your enemy? Everybody understands this. Steve, go on. This was on the interview with that shady character, Fareed Zakaria, on CNN, who was basically as part of the government stooge brigade. And then it got even worse, Steve. He asked Obama, why aren't you meeting with Netanyahu? Did you hear that sound clip?
Absolutely. Yep.
You want to play that one, or you want me to just comment on it?
Well, you could go. But basically, he said that, it's outside of an election. It's close to an election, and it's inappropriate, and we don't do that. But then he actually said, he said something to the effect of, which I did play last week, even our closest allies we wouldn't meet with 2 weeks before the election, which insinuated to me that that's no longer Israel. Israel's not one of our closest allies anymore.
In my book, Stop the Coming Civil War, I wrote in the first chapter, graduating to treason. He treats our enemies as friends and our friends as enemies. But let's stick to this lie, the big lie coming out of Obama's mouth. He is all politicians lie. We know that. Some more so than others. I believe one day, if this country should survive this monster, there will be a psychological analysis of this president who is a pathological liar. The man cannot tell the truth. He doesn't know what the truth is, or he knows what the truth is, but can lie about it sufficient that he actually believes his own lie while he's saying it. So let's go back to why he wouldn't meet with Netanyahu. In his lie, he says, because our general policy is we don't meet with any world leader 2 weeks before their election. Really? Because it's inappropriate, Mr. Obama? Then why is it that you sent Jeremy Bird, the Team Obama community organizing campaign wizard, who had you reelected, along with 173 other activists under the banner of V15, who are now in Israel undermining Netanyahu, literally manipulating an election in a foreign nation? You know about that, I'm sure, Steve.
Absolutely. And Ted Cruz wants an investigation.
Investigation? Well, I had a better solution for the Israelis. And here's the solution, that if Golda Meir was there, you know what they would do? They would immediately arrest Jeremy Bird and the 273 progressive liberal Jew haters over there. They'd arrest them as foreign spies, and then they'd put them in the prison with the Palestinians they've loved all these years for a couple of weeks, since they are their natural blood brothers. Don't put them in a prison with Jewish prisoners. Put them in a holding cell for 2 weeks until you can sort out, what they're really doing there. Now, you release them eventually, but put them in the wing with the Palestinians, because they've worked for them, they promoted them, they've said they're not terrorists, they said they're freedom fighters. These people need to be shown the reality of the world they are living in. They think it's a joke, they think it's a university, they think everything is a game, they think everything is a snicker like on MSNBC. Put everyone down with a snicker and a laugh while people are being set alive on fire.
Yeah, very, Michael, I don't disagree with what you said. I got to tell you.
Well, Jeremy Bird is the name never to forget. It was in the Jewish press this week. He was the one who got Obama reelected through his abilities to organize communities.
Yep. And now they're in Jerusalem. Absolutely.
Who sent them there, Steve?
Yep.
Obama did. It's his Team Obama.
It is Team Obama. Listen, Michael, I could talk to you for hours the way I listen to you for hours, and I thank you very much. And again, everybody, the book is Stop the Coming Civil War, My Savage Truth. That's the latest. You could check out all of Michael Savage's great books. Let's make this, as often as possible, sir. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, and God bless Newsmax and Chris Ruddy.
All right. Well said. Thank you.
Okay.
Michael Savage, ladies and gentlemen, the Savage Nation. Bye-bye, Michael. All right, folks. When we come back, the editor-in-chief of Opportunity Lives, and that will be John Hart. He'll join us right here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Don't go away.